Yossi, 2 weeks ago or last week at TM Forum in Silicon Valley, Amdocs was participating in a Catalyst program around social care. Can you talk about which carrier was involved in that program?
Orange France was our champion, and we also collaborated with two other partners or vendors, Attensity and TOA Technologies.
Okay. And what exactly were you showcasing at that event?
We showcased basically the harnessing of social media in order to improve customer experience. And basically we showed how a customer tweets about a problem, and then we capture that tweet, parse it using natural language processing, and turn it into a case. But then we use big data analytics to determine automatically how to resolve the case and dispatch a technician using TOA technologies to fix the issue.
Okay. Well, let's take a step back. You're monitoring or listening to social media for certain keywords. How do you associate a Facebook user, for example, to a subscriber?
So that requires what we call social identity matching. And what this is basically trying to identify the ID of the customer on social that could be a nickname or an avatar with their actual identity in the BSS. And the way it can be done is by sending them a direct message through social media and asking them to reveal their phone number. Now, our surveys show that many customers would reveal their identity in exchange to a better service.
So how does that natural language turn into actionable data?
So first of all, it understands the meaning of the sentence. You could say the same thing in different words, and you need to understand what it means. For example, I have a quality of service issue on the TV. I have pixelation, or I have buffering when I watch Netflix. These are examples of meaning. But you can also get the sentiment. Is the customer angry, frustrated, by analyzing the text? And that is valuable information in taking decisions.
Okay. And then how does Amdocs run a diagnosis or diagnostics against that to identify where the issue is and then turn it into something actionable?
So Amdocs would run basically several analytics algorithms, both on historical data to understand, for example, is the customer usually calling about issues like that? What is the usage patterns of the customer? But it could also ping devices, for example, a DVR at the customer home, or even the mobile device over the air, and get as a result some diagnostics information that can help in the real-time decision how to resolve an issue.
Okay, and then walk us through that machine-driven scheduling of a work order with your partner TOA.
So with TOA, what we do is if we determine that a technician needs to be at the customer premises, we basically feed TOA with all the parameters of what needs to be done. For example, if you need to replace equipment at a customer premises and you need to decide in real time to send a technician that's already in the field, you need to ensure that that technician has the equipment in their truck. We also need, of course, a technician that can fit it into their schedule. And most importantly, we also want to make sure that the customer is comfortable with the time frame of the technician visit. So we actually engage the customer through TOA at the process and ask them what is the right time slot to send a technician.
So in your estimation going forward, how will carriers evaluate the value proposition of this offering to make a buy decision to invest in this capability?
So as more and more of the younger generation that are using social media to interact with each other, and they're starting to use it to interact with companies, more and more of them are maturing and becoming payers or account holders. That would be one of the channels of the future that service providers will need to embrace. We're already seeing service providers trying to leverage social media, but today most of them are using it for macro level monitoring of what our customers saying on social media. They may see some complaints and may apologize, or in some cases open cases, but it's not really a holistic solution that can respond to every real issue on social media on a micro level with the vast amount of information that they already have in BSS. So we believe this will be a critical investment area in the next couple of years.
Yossi, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.